Welcome, everybody, back to the Tyler McClosky Show. We got our extended podcast version here with my guest this week, Mr. Brad Hannon. Again, thanks for coming down for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun already. I'm looking forward to another 20 minutes with you.
Again, you've been doing the podcast and social media stuff way more than I have. So hopefully I'm learning a little bit from you here this week. But how'd you feel mostly about just the radio segment?
Yeah, I mean, it's different, you know. I'm definitely used to a different audience, different style. But this is fun, man. And it's just like I think that people will be able to tell we're just two guys in the same industry that are like minded and believe a lot of the same things. So it's really easy to get in a room and just have a conversation about that. And honestly, as you were wrapping up the show there for the radio version, talking about staying plugged in and things. I mean, this is. It hasn't even begun to really start to be informational. Like what's about to roll out with everything going on politically, this is a place that people would want to stay tuned to, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's going to be a big deal in a very near future. So I think the fact that it's just kind of your first month and then this stuff kind of lines up, it's just unbelievable because people are going to need this information. And so, man, I'm happy to be here, and hopefully we can help debunk some myths, help some people, and maybe save somebody $2,000 a month.
I know, that's what we just talked about, which is just I still find it absolutely insane and crazy when the people that need the money the most are the ones that are getting hurt by it, right? It's not multimillionaires that don't care what their insurance premiums are. So it just really is.
That's
crazy.
A mortgage for most people.
Oh, absolutely, more than that sometimes,
right.
Depending on where you're living, for sure. So I'm super interested more on your coaching side of things. So I will be the first to say that I've always been a little skeptical sometimes of just the coaching platforms, not in the sense of, I don't even know how to say it the right way, though, how it's done or how it's gone about, but sometimes you don't want to be a know-it-all by any means, and you always want to learn all the time, but you know, you've just seen so many people get into that, and it's like sometimes they're jack of all trades, a master of none, all that type of thing. That's been my thought process on it, but you've been starting off in it. You've been hitting hard on that and doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just really try to specialize. Like I don't want to be that jack of all trades, master of none. I actually just kind of use my story in the, you know, if you listen to the earlier part of this where, you know, the insurance industry saved my life, but it wasn't necessarily just insurance. It was just that entrepreneurial spirit that started to take off. And, you know, before insurance, I was, you know, I had a couple failed businesses, and you know how life kind of hits you sometimes. Well, I found something I was really good at, and I just kind of skyrocketed. It kind of not the best by any means. I don't coach people because I think I am the number one agent in all of the land. I don't have to be. I don't want to be. I really just try to focus on using my story and the things that have happened in my career, even as short as it's been, to help change others. Because I believe that you have information. I believe that he has information. I believe that guy over there has information that people need to know. And if people stay more connected and you know, in tune with that stuff, I think, you know, we'd be a better place for it, right?
And you're actually either, again, I want you to tell this side of it, but you're just starting to get into where you're actually able to now sell your coaching packages as well, right? So I think you did a bunch for free for a while, which is good. You got a lot of base and surrounding on that, but then now you're actually getting to the point where you're able to do the one-on-one or business coaching for a group of people. So how's that working for you, and what's that look like?
Yeah, so I believe one thing. I believe a lot of things about people, but I believe one thing is really important when it comes to just people in general. They only value what they pay for, right? So I definitely did a lot of free coaching, and I still do with my agents and everything else. I can tell you the people that have paid me for coaching or you know, had a strategy session with me or consulting their agency, because obviously when COVID hit, there was a lot of face-to-face agents that had to transition to phone and internet sales that I've helped as well. But man, when people are paying for that service, they're going to get a 10x return on it because they're paying for it, right? And they're going to take what you told them and they're going to go apply it. Meanwhile, you meet with somebody for free, right? They don't value it the same, I don't feel like, and they don't really take it and apply it unless they're, you know, there are, I shouldn't put everybody into that category, but there are, you know, people who will just kind of consume information, never do anything with it. And so I only started charging for coaching simply because I couldn't really justify giving my time to an agent that wasn't on my team, especially if they weren't going to go out there and make a difference, right? I believe that we should be called to make a difference. We should be going out there trying to help as many people as we can. If they're not doing that, it's kind of unfortunate that I wasted my time, considering it's the only, it's the most important resource we have, right? It's the only thing we can't get back. So
I think even you yourself, you got into coach or had a coach for yourself, right?
Man, I've invested a ton. I've invested a ton in coaching. I did a training yesterday for over 100 agents, and we kind of started off with this fun little, where are you from? How'd you get into the business, and what's your addiction, right? So we all keep them PG-13. My addiction was personal development. Like I'm like, listen, I'm addicted to becoming a better person, the best person that I possibly can be, right? And I'm going to do that through paying somebody for the knowledge that they have, because what's going to happen with that is it's just going to get me to where I want to go faster, right? I believe that person has the information that I need to avoid 5 years of mistakes, 5 years of failures, 5 years of figuring it out on my own. I'm just going to pay him for the knowledge that he has, and it's going to expedite my process that much more. And so that's why I take the last 5+ years of my insurance career, right? And I just try to leverage that to say, hey, this is what I did. It may work for you, it may not, but I'm here with you, and we're gonna work through it. We're gonna figure out how to make this work for you. Yep. So,
I know that you've gotten to travel a lot as well, and being in the insurance industry and the coaching platforms and things like that. What's been your most exciting place or your favorite place that you traveled to recently?
Man, it's got to be Mexico with you, of course, right? I mean, running from hurricanes and doing just a bunch of crazy stuff, man. It was an interesting. We'll use the quotation, the air quotes. It was an interesting vacation, right?
So I'll jump on that a little bit. So back a couple months ago in October of 2020. Brad, his company, some agents, we all went down to Cancun, Mexico. We thought it'd be a great idea to spend a weekend out there, have some fun, enjoy some laughs, enjoy some drinks, things of that nature. Well, we also went down the day before to go down there just to enjoy some time with us. And this is where there was a hurricane just sitting out there in the middle of nowhere, but nobody thought anything of it because it wasn't coming. I don't even know what the name of the hurricane was. I don't know if you remember.
I don't remember now.
But anyways, long story short, we woke up the next morning getting ready for everybody else and all the other agents to come into town that day. Well, it's 10 o'clock. Myself, Brad, we're out on the beach. I actually went for a run on the beach. While his wife was sitting there soaking up some sun. And next thing we know, the entire hotel and resort is getting evacuated because the hurricane took a 90-degree turn at a Category 5 directly for Cancun.
Yeah, unique experience to say the least, for sure.
So while we're trying to book flights, Brad was actually able to get a flight to Atlanta. I was able to get a flight back to Miami. His wife was on a flight back to Miami with me. I was going to drive up to Sarasota and drop her off. He was going to fly from Atlanta up to Sarasota. We ended up getting on a bus with about 80 insurance agents and saying, well, they're going to shut the airport down. We better not do that. And we'll be stuck at the airport for 3 days. We had to drive 6 hours into the middle of Mexico. I don't even know where we were. To a Holiday Inn that had windows and boarded up and tape all over the place, where they said we can lock you in here for 48 hours with some popcorn and water.
Yep, and they closed down liquor sales. They closed down all restaurants, and so we were just boarded up in a hotel. But we made the most of it, man, and we got a lot done. We got a lot accomplished, and I think that the reason we're both sitting here today, still good buddies and colleagues, is because of the time that we spent there, right? So hey, wouldn't trade it. I know you were trying to leave on me, but I talked to you to get on that bus, and hey, I'm not mad that you got on that bus. It worked out.
Well, it always works out at the end of the day, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes, I might freak out in the moment. I think, I got a little bit of OCD in me. I think we were just talking about that, as I got to start the show exactly at 0-0 on the second, because if I'm past that, I'm all thrown off. So, just a little bit of my human nature in me. But so what else is going on with your stuff? So how are people reaching out to you now? Because I definitely want you to get a good track on that. I know you've talked to me even about coaching and trying to get in there. I love speaking. I love talking with people. I love helping them, which is all part of that whole platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are people reaching out to you, and how are they actually using you or scheduling you? And what does a coaching session or, month training program look with you or your team?
Yeah, so one of the things that, I wanted to offer while we're here is just a free strategy session. And I know I just talked about people only value what they pay for, but that free strategy session will allow me to kind of evaluate, hey, I think you spend 6 weeks, man, we go through this, and this, and I think this is going to be where I'm going to provide the value to you, right? We're going to come up with a plan on that free strategy session. That plan's going to, it's going to be an investment from you because it's going to be an investment from me. But most people are reaching out through my website, which just launched pretty recently, actually, www.bradhannon.com. And for the show, if you actually go to www.bradhannon.com/coaching, you can use the code in the box there, Tyler McClosky Show, just to let me know that's where you came from, because I want to offer, like I said, that free strategy session for anybody that might be listening that either is in the insurance industry, wants to get in the insurance industry, whatever that case may be. I love to, like I said, had a little background in ministry, spent some time with, as a student, student leader, things like that. And so, man, I just love helping people. And I think that's how I transitioned in the coaching in the first place. It's like, hey, I'm always coaching the whole agent, right? Like body, mind, and spirit, not just here's the 5 rules you need to have to succeed in this business, right? I'm kind of coaching like, hey, what's your morning routine like? When you wake up in the morning, you go to the gym, you getting your energy up, or are you eating 16 pancakes before you come to the office and feeling worn down? Like, I'm coaching the whole person, right? And I believe you have to.
Sounds good. All right. Transition just a little bit into sports because it's Super Bowl week. Are you how excited are you about that? Hometown team?
Yeah, man. Tampa Bay Bucks. Born and raised right here in Sarasota, Florida. So it's been really cool to see us. I mean, I kind of knew it was coming. I had a feeling, but here we are, man. We're in the Super Bowl, and it's gonna be a dynamic matchup, to say the least.
I know Tampa's just hitting it this year for the first time that I can ever even remember with hockey, baseball, and football all together.
Yeah, how about those Rays?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a Yankee fan, so I don't think they're gonna make it past us this year, no matter what. But we'll see how all that goes. I wish that this whole COVID thing wasn't going on right now. Obviously, nobody does. But just because of the Super Bowl aspect of it, it would be 10 times better that the home team is in their own stadium and they were just fully open. I think they're doing 25 or 30% fans.
25% is last I heard, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that would be something if it was 100% fan capacity with everybody there.
For real.
It would be insane.
For real. Insane. Well, hey, if I could just for a minute, I just wanted to, I meant to say when you were asking me about the platform and things like that, I meant to kind of actually commend you, first of all, for taking this show on. And you had mentioned how I've told you should get into this, I really believe this is kind of a stepping stone to that. So for you, what's in your future, Tyler? Like, I mean, I know you've built an awesome agency. You're really killing it with the radio show. You're doing all this cool stuff now. What's in your future?
Man, flipping around on me, huh? I wasn't prepared for that, but it's, It's really right now just trying to take it and see where it's going to go in the next couple of months, obviously with the new transition and with politics and the administration in there. I hate that our business is so heavily involved.
Political football.
I really, really don't like that because I've never been into politics this much before, and I don't want to be, but we have to be because it affects our business, right? Like I said, my thing that I've always done, and I said, I can remember this at 14 years old, I had to write a paper in school that said, what we wanted to be when we grow up and how we're going to do it. And
you said insurance agent.
Yeah, and I didn't say insurance agent, but for some reason, it was always football player, but then I was, 5'7" and 12 years old, and I never grew anything after that. But so my whole thing was, I don't know why I said at 25 years old, I wanted to make $100,000. At 30 years old, I want to make $1 million. And at 40 years old, I want to be a multimillionaire, being able to be retired if I want to for the rest of my life. I wrote that paper at 14 years old. Don't know why that was in my head necessarily exactly to that way of doing it. But at 25 years old in the insurance space, I hit $100,000. I reached my goal at 30, and now we're going to see where I get to by 40. So again, I'm kind of just staying on that route of being able to do it. I stayed laser focused in just insurance and insurance only. A lot of people try to diversify into a lot of things. I might be getting there. I got a couple things in the works that hopefully I'll be able to announce soon. But that's why I stayed in the insurance industry while everybody was going ups or downs or getting out of it with all the changes. We stayed in it and didn't lose focus. And I think if you can stay in something and not lose focus, you can succeed at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wasn't trying to flip the script on you there. Just the audience needs to know Tyler McClosky. Like, the audience needs to know what a stud this guy really is, because I mean, he's got like you just heard him. I mean, obviously he's got some big lofty goals, and you can see why I kind of hitched my wagon. You know, it's like I knew this kid was killing it in the insurance business. I knew that he was doing big things. And if I could give one piece of advice to just everybody listening, I mean, find somebody that has what you want, and then go talk to them. You know, go learn how they got what it is that you wanted. So if you want to go make hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars by the time you're 40, you better find somebody that's done it, right? And then you better talk to them about it and figure out, what did they do that worked for them. You don't have to do that exact thing, but you're going to pick up a lot of nuggets along the way. So, you know, I just wanted, I feel like, you know, do the audience some justice. Let them hear who Tyler McClosky is, what Tyler's got coming up, because I know you got some big things ahead.
Yeah,
obviously.
no, I appreciate that. And that's kind of what I gave a little intro on our first show. You know, I got my own personal audience that knows me and knows my story pretty well, but I'm trying to get this expanded out to however many people we can. You know, got the Spotify channel up, and I'm really trying to find a way to get this, you know, heard in so many more cars on the way to work, or, you know, listening to it at their home or whatever it might be. But again, yeah, I love real estate. That's more my passion of things, but insurance has just been the way in the platform to be able to make that kind of money, almost being like recession proof,
right,
if you stay in it.
I've always said
the residual income.
I've always said insurance sucks. I just make it suck a little bit less, right? So I think that this show, I think one of the greatest things about it is that hopefully people will be able to listen to this, learn about the health insurance industry and like what their options are without being bored to sleep. I mean, at least I hope we didn't bore them to sleep, but that's the point, is like, you're going to get some good information, right? Because there's some big things in the works with the administration, with everything going on. I mean, they want to stay plugged in, but they don't want to stay bored to death. And they certainly don't want to watch like negative media, right? So this is a very positive, uplifting, you know, informational still show. So I love it.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Is there anything else that you want to add in, or just plug your website one more time again for everybody listening so they can reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach out to me directly at www.bradhannon.com. So it's just bradhannon.com. That offer again was bradhannon.com/coaching. And then there's a little spot in the notes there, a little spot where your contact information, where you can actually type in the Tyler McClosky Show. So I know you came from this show. I want to offer those free strategy sessions to, if there's any agents listening. I know if I was an agent, right, that's at least, hopefully this takes off with the agent community as well. Because I mean, if I'm an agent and they're talking about health insurance, whether it's on the news, on the radio, on Spotify, whatever it is, I'm listening to it, because maybe I'm just a nerd like that, but I really, really do love this industry and the opportunity that brings us. So
cool. Love it. Well, again, I appreciate you coming down on short notice here this week, and this definitely won't be the first and last time that you're on the show.
I hope not.
And I keep talking like, we'll see. I know I signed on to do the radio session here with them for 3 months. Hopefully our ratings come in pretty well, and they can see, you know, we got a good audience that's tuning into this, and then we'll see where it goes. I think everybody's end goal is Joe Rogan or Gary Vee style podcast episodes. We'll see if we ever get there, but this is episode number 4 in the books.
I don't know if this studio would allow Joe Rogan style, if you know what I mean.
Oh, sure. I mean, we can do whatever we want when we're in here. So, but yeah, you never know. I said I'll stop counting my episodes when I get into double digits. So once I get to episode 10, I'll stop counting them. But still a little surreal for me. So episode 4, just wrapping it up. Thanks for coming in, and we'll be on next week. So everybody tune in for our show next week. It's going to be, if you're local in the area, 92.5 FM, which is 92.5 Fox News. They stream it live on their website every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. as well. But then we'll be right back here releasing on the Spotify and Apple Music channels. So Brad, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, man.
And I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.
Hey, listen, guys, if for whatever reason you live under a rock and you missed part 1 of the Tyler McClosky show, I posted a link right here. Go check out part 1 where I talk with Tyler in depth about the open enrollment period that we're in right now. Just a great discussion with a great guy who knows a lot about the industry. Go check it out right here.